What's up everyone, Erica here, and I'm back today with another video for you. Welcome back to my channel, friends, or if this is by chance the first time you are stopping by my channel or seeing my face, welcome. My name is Erica, and either way, whether you are returning or if this is the first time you are clicking on my channel, I'm so happy to have you here for today's video. Welcome to my new little filming area. This is something I decided to do for the holiday season, obviously. I never utilize this area of my makeup room or my YouTube room to film, but I try to jazz up my background a little bit with like some Christmas decor, so I wrapped the pictures that are currently up there. I'm really liking it, so you guys will have to let me know. What do we think? Do we like it? Thought it would be a fun little way to display some of my holiday ears as well. Anyway, that's not why we're here. For today's video, we are celebrating another forgotten favorite, and this month, I know some of you guys just aren't gonna believe it, but we're celebrating another one of my favorites. And this month is, drumroll please, Meet the Robinsons. Meet the Robinsons is definitely like probably one of my top 3 most favorite underrated films for so many reasons, which I will be getting into that a little bit later. But you know, if this is the first time you're watching one of these videos, 2 of my closest friends, Sarah and Jossam, put together this monthly collaboration where we celebrate a forgotten favorite, but we can celebrate it however we see fit. Last month I participated by making a cocktail. It was a huge fail, but we're not gonna get into that. I've done Disneybounds, I've done crafts. Everyone in this collaboration just really pulls out all the stops and shows their creativity to the max. So I highly recommend you go through and watch everyone's videos. As I mentioned, this movie just absolutely does not get the amount of love that it deserves for reasons I will be sharing in a moment. But for that reason, I cannot wait to see what everyone's come up with for this movie. Every time I do the Forgotten Favorites, I like to share a little bit of why I personally love the movie, or parts of the movie that like call out to me and that kind of thing, and then I get into the video. So for today's video, I'm going to be kind of doing a little bit of both, because today I'm going to be sharing with you some Easter eggs or some fun facts from the movie Meet the Robinsons. I really wanted to spend some time talking to you guys about why I love Meet the Robinsons so much. First and foremost, the entire movie is based around a quote from Walt Disney. And the quote is not just something so generic or something that, you know, is just so Disney. To me, this whole quote embodies what your entire outlook should be for life, and that is keep moving forward. I'm gonna put the real quote from Walt Disney here. It's important to me because no matter what we're going through in our lives, you know, we're all struggling and we're all facing our own battles, but either way, we're all choosing to, you know, keep moving forward and look to tomorrow for another day. And, you know, regardless, it doesn't have to be in a negative aspect. Just always having that kind of outlook on life, I think, can just get you everywhere. So I really try to apply it to my day-to-day. So just that alone is very meaningful to me. I love that the main character, Lewis, is kind of a quirky kid. You know, he's not what everyone expects him to be, you know, like a sports player, or, you know, he doesn't fit into the mold, so to speak. Although he realizes that, okay, maybe he doesn't fit into this mold that people are expecting of him, he never tries to change himself, which I love. And I really hope to teach Juliana that lesson growing up, that, you know, you never want to comply and change who you are just to please other people. So that's something that I love, that message in this movie. Another message that I just love from this movie is, you know, it's okay to fail. It's okay to make mistakes. I'm getting emotional talking about it, you guys. If you've never seen Meet the Robinsons, please, 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 I urge you guys. I know that we do a lot of forgotten favorites, but this movie, I'm gonna read you something that I found on Buzzfeed, and it just explains everything so perfectly. But I'm like begging you guys, please, to watch it. Earlier this year, I did a Meet the Robinsons inspired Disneybound lookbook, and I have to tell you guys, it's probably one of my favorites I've done ever. And some of you might not know this, but my stepmom is actually my videographer. She helps me a lot with the projects and like helps me film and helps me, you know, what she thinks is gonna look good and all that stuff. But so when we're gonna do a Disneybound or a lookbook, she likes to watch the movie as like research, especially if she hasn't seen it. She watched the movie, and you know, I get discouraged because a lot of people don't love Meet the Robinsons. So I did tell her, I'm like, I really hope you love it. Like, gonna make me sad if you didn't. But she got back to me, and like, she was blown away. She loved the movie. She was like, I can't believe I'd never seen it. It was so beautiful, like so sentimental and so sweet. So please, you guys, I'm like urging you, please go watch this movie if you haven't already. I'm gonna read you what Buzzfeed said about it, because I think they do a fantastic job explaining it. So the article is called 15 Reasons Meet the Robinsons is Unjustly Underrated. If that is not the most perfect way to explain it, unjustly underrated. It's not just underrated. It's not just forgotten. It is unjustly forgotten favorites, okay? That's gonna be the title of my video. Number 1, it has a great message. Keep moving forward. Nothing is set in stone. You gotta make the right choice and keep moving forward. Can I get an amen? Amen. Number 2, the best message actually. And it shows Louis when he is sitting at the dining room table and he tries to do his little peanut butter and jelly hat, and it doesn't work. And they're like celebrating him, like, you failed, you did it, we're so proud of you that you failed. And Billy the ant says, you know, from failing you learn, from success not so much. So, you know, we learn from our mistakes, and that's a very important lesson to teach the young ones. Number 3, the Robinson family is the best Disney family. Absolutely the best, like the most fun. I would love to go over there for dinner. Number 4, the dating advice is superb.
I am always right. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right.
JD will attest to that for sure. I'm sure. There's a frog jazz band. Oh my gosh, you guys, the music from Meet the Robinsons is also just like amazing. The frogs, like with their little jazz band, and then the music itself just makes me so emotional. What doesn't make me emotional, honestly? There's a complicated villain. Yes, okay, so Goob, bowler hat guy, is like one of my favorite villains, and I feel so weird saying that because there's like nothing of him. Like, what a weird villain to like, but he's complicated, you know? I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it, but he had a tough upbringing. He's seen some things, okay? So yeah, I love the bowler hat guy. I think he's a fantastic villain. And his ridiculous plans are hilarious. Yes, like everything in that is so funny. There's also a real villain, and she's terrifying. Yes, so Doris, the bowler hat itself, is actually the villain of the movie, and like her premise or her like end game is terrifying if you think about it in real life. Like, I can't imagine. It deals with real issues like the foster care system. That's a heavy one. And then it shows a scene of Louis sitting outside, and he says it was his 124th adoption interview and none of them took him, which I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, you guys. This movie is very sad for a lot of reasons, so just promise me you'll watch it, okay? It's gonna be sad, but I promise it'll be worth it. Okay, now this is one that I really appreciate from this movie, is that the movie did not focus on romantic love, but instead familial love. Hey you guys, I am so sorry if the lighting or anything looks a little different. I was late for a nail appointment, so I hightailed it out of here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get back into the video. So getting back into the video, and what I was saying I love about this film is that the movie focuses a lot on the love within the family and the family dynamic and the characters and how they're all just so important in each other's lives, as opposed to like a romantic love story, which I love. I feel like we don't see that very often within Disney films. One of the last things that this Buzzfeed article talks about is there's a huge plot twist. And again, I don't want to spoil it for those of you that haven't seen it, but for the billionth time, please go watch it. I think you'll love it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and get into the Easter eggs. When I was doing a little bit of digging for the fun facts for this video, I stumbled across a interesting fact that my fellow up lovers will appreciate. The beloved wilderness explorer Russell was actually going to be named Louis, but they decided against it to not cause any sort of confusion from Louis from Meet the Robinsons. I love the name Louis. I could actually see Russell being named Louis, but obviously Russell suits him way better. Wanted to give a quick shout out. These little Easter eggs that I found are from Oh My Disney. Some of them I had seen before, and some of them were new to me. And if you've seen the movie, you'll have to let me know down in the comments if you knew them all, if some of them are news to you as well. The first one being when Wilbur takes Lewis to the future. You know, he doesn't believe him, so he takes him in the time traveler and they are flying into the future. They hover over a sign that says Todayland, which is obviously a play on Tomorrowland. Like, it's the same little design and all of that. That one I feel like is pretty easy to pick up. It's like a play on Tomorrowland, but one that is a little bit more, I don't want to say difficult, but maybe not the easiest to catch, is right behind the sign of Todayland. There's actually a building that is supposed to, you know, resemble Space Mountain. The next Easter egg is when Lewis goes to visit Goob during his softball game. You can kind of see Lewis out in the outfield, and to the left of him you'll see two posters. One is for the Jungle Book and one is actually from Toy Story 2. I didn't find any reasoning why these two specific posters, but I thought it was a fun little find. This one I definitely did not know about. I feel like it just happened so quickly that like the naked eye wouldn't catch it. When Lewis is meeting all of the Robinson clan, like the whole family, and Grandpa is kind of taking him around and meeting everybody, and they meet Gaston. There's a little Easter egg for you. They didn't say he's actually named after Gaston, but you know, whatever. Gaston is holding a watch in his hand and it's actually in the shape of Mickey Mouse. I thought this one was pretty fun. So in Lewis's bedroom in the foster home, you'll notice a picture of Nikola Tesla. Considering Tesla is a known futurist and inventor, it makes sense that he'd have an honored spot on the wall of Meet the Robinsons. This one I totally did know, but I just think this is funny for those of you that maybe haven't seen it. When Wilbur is explaining to Lewis like their family tree, because he's so confused, as would anybody meeting the Robinsons, when Wilbur is going over the family tree, there's just like a, you know, everyone is like illustrated, but then there's just a random picture of Tom Selleck. Lewis asks Wilbur, well, what's your dad look like? And Wilbur says, Tom Selleck.
What does Cornelius look like?
Tom Selleck.
Okay, Cornelius is married to Franny, and her brothers are Gaston
and later when you watch the movie, you'll understand why it's a picture versus an illustration. And that's because the actor who voices Wilbur's dad is Tom Selleck. I like Tom Selleck, but I'm not like the biggest fan. All I think of him as is Richard, Monica's boyfriend from Friends. Anyone else? And the last one that I have for you guys is one that I've seen before. I feel like it's pretty easy to catch, so you'll have to let me know if you've seen it. You know, in the same scene when Grandpa is showing Lewis around the Robinson house, they're in the yard and they're kind of like bouncing in the grass. I know that sounds weird, but they're bouncing in the grass, and there is a little hidden Mickey in the lawn along with a hedge or like a little shrub cut in the shape of Mrs. Potts and Chip. That's technically like two little nods to Beauty and the Beast. Maybe somebody has a really big love for Beauty and the Beast who wrote Meet the Robinsons. Am I onto something? Probably not. That is going to do it for my fun little Easter eggs and my, I guess, overview of Meet the Robinsons. I wouldn't really call it like an overview because I didn't tell you guys the story, but I know that this isn't really like the normal kind of videos that I do. This was a lot of talking and me just like fact telling or Easter egg pointing. Anyway, but you know, this movie does mean so much to me that I wanted to elaborate or touch on that, why it is so important to me and why I think it's just such a fantastic movie that you definitely need to check out if you haven't. That's gonna do it for me today, guys. A friendly reminder to please check out everyone that is listed in the description box. I am dying to see what everyone has come up with for this month. Like I said, unjustly underrated, okay? So we need to give it round of applause for Meet the Robinsons. It's so beautifully done, pulls at your heartstrings, but in the best way possible, and just makes you feel so good. Huge thank you to Asaria and Jossum for having me back for this collaboration month after month after month. Don't forget to check back in for next month. We've done a whole year. Next month will be a whole year of doing the Forgotten Favorites, and that is so fun. That's gonna do it for me. For now, I wanna thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video, and I hope to see you back again for the next one. Bye.